Welcome to our knowledge session. In a few moments, the legendary Matt Ruhorn from our product team will guide you through some of the features of MobileNAV. MobileNAV is a third-party application from our partner MultiSoft. The application is available primarily for Android or iOS devices, but has an option to be installed on Windows CE devices as well. MobileNAV has many features built in that would benefit a number of areas in an organisation, including the mobile sales team, service engineers and many other general mobile workers. For this session, Matt will be focusing on MobileNAV for use with WMS, or the Warehouse Management System in NAV and Business Central. So over to you, Matt.
Today, in this knowledge session, we're going to be looking at using MobileNAV in conjunction with NAV and Business Central's Warehouse Management System, WMS for short. In detail, or more specifically, we're going to look at enquiries for items and stock. We're going to look at the goods in processes, some internal processes, goods out processes, and we'll end by looking at some configuration and the potential for developing and extending MobileNAV for specific uses. So let's make a start with the general menu overview and some of the inquiry screens that MobileNAV has for us. So I'm logged into my MobileNAV system now. At the minute, I've got all of the menus active. As Beth mentioned in the intro, MobileNAV can be used for all sorts of different areas in the business. We're going to expand the inventory menu because we're going to be focusing mainly on warehouse processes. The first couple of screens I'd like to have a look at is the inquiry screens. So if I tap the items option, and I now have the item inquiry screen, and I can start by setting a filter, tapping at the bottom, and perhaps looking for all of the chairs that I have in my system. And that will load me the list of all the different types of chairs I've got. And I can have a look at the Paris guest chair. And I can see here some unit prices, some overall inventory, units of measure, etc. There are a couple of extra additional options that MobileNAV have added specifically for the MobileNAV application. One is down at the bottom here, which is add cross-reference online. And that allows me to just scan a new barcode and that'll be automatically added to the item setup. Alternatively, I might want to check the stock of this item in the warehouses. So at the bottom middle of the page here, I can press the bin content button. And that will immediately show me where I can find all of my Paris chairs in my central distribution centre warehouse. There are a couple of other nifty little features as well. I've got a picture option and I can view or upload a new picture to make sure that I'm looking at the right item. Or if I've just had a new item delivered and I want to take a picture, I can do that for reference. And that's our item inquiry screen. So if I return back to my main menu, I can now access the bin content screen. This screen's a really good example of a nice feature in MobileNAV that we call smart scanning. On this screen, instead of having to manually type information into the searches or the filter, I can simply scan an item barcode, for example, my Antwerp table, and that will immediately recognise that it's an item that I've scanned, and it will show me the bin contents for that particular item across the warehouse. Instead of scanning an item, I could simply have scanned a bin code. Again, I don't need to tell the system that I'm scanning a bin code or an item, it just works it out for us. And here we can see the bin contents for bin number W408. So there are some really nice lookups and inquiry screens available in MobileNAV, and they're great to save people having to walk back to a desktop PC across a large warehouse. Now let's start to have a look at some of the processes that we generally get involved in a warehouse environment. Let's start with our goods in process. Typically, a warehouse supervisor or a warehouse manager might prepare a warehouse receipt for some or all of the goods that are being delivered on that particular day. So if I access my warehouse receipts menu, I can see I've got receipt prepared already. Once I tap on the receipt, I get a list of the lines that I'm expecting and the quantities. When we're generally talking about goods in processes, we typically want the physical stock to drive the order in which the processes occur. We want to deal with the products as they came off the back of the wagon, not necessarily in the order that the system thinks they are in the lines. So again, we can employ the smart scanning mechanic, and we can say, right, okay, the item that's come off the lorry first is our Paris chair. So I can scan that Paris chair, and it'll immediately bring me to the line of the receipt that I need to complete. With a warehouse receipt, it's typical that the only real piece of information that we need to enter at this stage is the actual quantity that we've received. And I can either tap on the quantity section and amend that as I wish, or I can use the plus and minus icons on the quantity to receive line here.